Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 112-105, and LA got the victory tonight at home against OKC to win the season series up 2-1 on our favor, which we are really proud of. And I'm really glad OKC could not discipline themselves against shooting the three ball tonight. That's what I'm really thankful for. We turned the ball over a lot, 17 times. They were running some pretty good defensive plays out there against us, zone and things like that. But at the end of the day, they just did not respect their own possessions at all. 15 of 49 three-point shots. Now, we had a Kobe, 8 of 24, so we definitely can live with that. And we shot over 50% from the field, if I'm not mistaken. 64 points in the paint to their 44, so we're really pleased with how we attacked the paint. 21 fast break points. We did some great things there. But it just really came down to them just jacking up three-point shots all night long, not having any discipline whatsoever. And it really played into our favor because it gave us the possessions we needed to outscore them. When we know damn well 112 points is not really going to win too many games in this league, but when the other team is jacking up threes to that degree and hitting them so few, it's hard to lose. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard to lose, man. I wish more teams would shoot that poorly against us. But Anthony Davis was fantastic. I think he had like over 25 points, about 15 boards, something like that. A block, 2 steals, something like that. I don't remember the stats exactly. Bron had over 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, or something of that nature. Forgive me, the stats ain't with me right now. Rui Hachimura was 5 for 8. I thought he played well off the bench. Vanderbilt was fantastic, even though the stats didn't tell you all there was to see there. I really thought he played a great game and just was extremely disruptive, basically on both sides of the floor. It's helpful getting in transitions, rebounding the ball, stealing the ball, that kind of thing. We did a great job of jumping the passing lanes. Even on a couple possessions where we didn't quite seal the deal on the steal, I still thought we were doing a great job out there doing that. We got away with it, Darvin. You used your challenge in the first quarter, 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we were able to get away with it, but please don't ever do that again. I'll just leave it at that. But this was a great game to watch, man. The game was fun, especially if you're a Laker fan. Now, if you're a Thunder fan, probably not. But for us, we got a rare game in this flurry of games where it's worth watching. Because the last few, they wasn't. It was great to have Bron back. Great to have a healthy Rui. Great to see our starting lineup return to what it was last year in the Western Conference Finals. First time we used this rotation. This starting unit of AD, Bron, Vando, Austin, and D'Lo. I thought it looked okay, man. Couldn't quite get any stops as expected, but I thought it set us up really good to have a more or less a good set of rotations after that. Christian Wood played a good game tonight. We like what we saw there. TP was pretty steady tonight. Don't quite remember what his stats were, but I remember him doing some solid things out there. But Anthony Davis was just ferocious, man. So many highlights of him blocking shots, dunking hard on Chet Holmgren. He had a real nice jam on him. And that's what I will definitely remember about this game. It's just the highlights that AD gave us dunking the ball. I thought Bron played a really good, efficient basketball game. I thought he was hitting shots. He did a few things out there passing the rock that just showed you that he was a little rusty from missing a game and not playing well in the previous games that he was a part of. So this was him returning to form and looked a little rusty to me. It looked like he had missed more than one game, to be honest with you. Some of the passing stuff was off. It was a play in transition he didn't quite get, trying to jump the pass and that kind of thing. So stuff that Bron, I know, will ultimately be able to secure were plays that just were not secure tonight, just off the strength of him being a bit on the rusty side. But the shooting was there, and just having this easy ability to get buckets was a luxury for our squad that we've missed. So we definitely appreciate that. And Max Christie had a quiet game. didn't, they were doing a great job on him. Every time he tried to dribble drive, I mean, they had somebody in front of him. But, this is one of those games where you just appreciate how the other team went ice cold for a change. OKC is shooting the ball terribly right now. They shot like 22% from the three against the Orlando Magic and are now coming into our building shooting this poorly. You just have to wonder how they're going to shoot tomorrow against the Clippers. But all in all, we are happy to have them knocked off in this first of a back-to-back LA thing for them. We got the Dallas Mavericks coming up on Wednesday, and Kyrie and Tim Hardaway just came off of 40-plus point games today. 2 players in one game with 40-plus points and no Luka Doncic on the floor. That's pretty impressive, and that's what we're walking into for the next one. So, it's good to get this win, man. It's really, really good to get this win against the OKC Thunder, a very good basketball team, to say the least, a contender. And, Giddey got booed. I can tell you right now, Giddey got booed every time he touched the ball. He rebounded the ball very well against us, but couldn't shoot the ball very well, just like everybody else on his team. I think Isaiah Joe was like 2 of 10. So you'll see 1-fers and 0-fers up and down their stat sheet on the OKC side. It was just really, really a luxury to have them shoot so poorly and shoot at such a volume, man. I mean, it got to a point where it's like, yo, just leave them out there. Just leave them out there. If they gonna shoot like that, then I don't blame you playing off of the perimeter, because they were doing themselves no favors, and it was definitely helping us a lot. So, yeah, man, great win. Fun win. You don't get to say that too often, but yeah, we had that. Vanderbilt's starting to get back in shape, and I think that much needs to be said about how he missed a good portion of the first half. And then when we were struggling the most, we were bringing him back into the fold, and he wasn't quite ready. He looks like he's starting to get into season form right now, and that's exactly what we need from him, to look good. Transition, got a few buckets. His 3-ball, I don't remember if it fell or not, but for the last couple games, he's been able to hit it. So he's slowly but surely becoming somewhat of an offensive threat, which will allow us opportunities to keep him on the floor. And that's really exciting, because we know he can do some things out there, and he was very, very disruptive tonight. So, yeah, he was definitely somebody that stands out for sure in this matchup. And just overall, I thought we got a lot more out of our bench than they did. They only had really a couple players in double figures, and none of them were off the bench for the OKC side. So we definitely had a much better bench performance. Between the 4 players that we played off our bench, it wasn't too many, but Rui was good, Vando, and Christian Wood. I mean, we were able to use our size a bit more tonight against their guys, and I thought it really played into our favor. Offensive rebound, it was a bit tough, even though we won the rebound a total by 4. It seems like they were getting key offensive rebounds, and were able to get in a second chance and third chance opportunities based on that. So we have got to do a better job with 50-50 balls. I don't think we really did a great job there tonight. If they were shooting well, we could have got blown out because of it. But you know what I mean? When a team misses as many threes as they did, you're going to win the basketball game. As I always tell y'all, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. And tonight, OKC just, I mean, they buried themselves. I mean, it was a clank fest for real, man. It was a real clank fest, but you can't take nothing away from their defense. And SGA really is a fantastic player who's playing MVP basketball. It wasn't his greatest night. I think we did a good job of putting Vando on him. Did some defensive things that really helped ourselves there. Stripped the ball from him a couple times. So I think we did a great job against him. So, yeah, this is one of the better games of this flurry. The Lakers have been struggling since the in-season tournament championship, and I can make an argument that this might be our best win since then. Maybe you say the Clipper game, but this is definitely a game that you feel like, okay, maybe this team has turned the corner as it pertains to utilizing players and getting the most out of them. I thought D'Lo played a really nice game. Carried over from the last one. I thought he was pretty good. Had some turnovers, a couple things that didn't quite go right, but he shot the ball well, and he was making some really good assists out there. He had his goggles up for his court vision tonight, so the confidence was there. You could tell he's found his way since kind of going into a lull after being benched. But now that he's back in that starting lineup, he looks great. He really does, and I think we're in a good space with this team. So hopefully we can take this into the Dallas game. Hopefully, Luka does not play, and we can find ourselves in a position to maybe get 2 wins in a row in this situation, man. We're home at least for another 2 weeks, and our next road game, from what I understand, is in San Francisco. So we're going to be in the state for the rest of the month. You got to love that. And although these aren't easy teams we're going to be seeing, when you see wins like this tonight, maybe you can feel a little optimistic that we can win some more good games against some good teams. So this was an awesome win, man. It's in the flurry of bad games and complaints that we've had. This is exactly how you want to see your team come out. And it seems like OKC is just the team to come through for us and have a label as a good team, but then ultimately dropping a game against us when we need that to be the case. Last time we saw them, we were in the midst of seeing Boston smash together with Minnesota, and it was just that OKC was just another one of those elite teams that we had to try to face, and we ultimately got that game, but none of the other ones. So I don't know if there's going to be a repeat performance of that type of thing, but at least we got this game tonight. We definitely appreciate them coming in and hoisting a bunch of bricks in our building. So fantastic win. Feels good to have won. The game ball for me goes to Anthony Davis for just being ferocious on the boards and highlights all galore and fighting through the double teams and all the hacking that went on, which was a lot of it. That some of it went called, some of it went uncalled, but I just thought he was a ferocious monster out there tonight. It really bounced back from some low performances over the last several games where he couldn't really score very much. But in this one, I think we got about 26 points out of him, maybe 15 boards, and a couple, like 5 assists or something of that nature. So I just thought he really was fantastic for what we needed him to be, man. Jump shot kind of fell a little bit tonight since he had a bad jump shooting game against the Jazz. So, it was a good game for AD, man. Going up against Chet Holmgren, he really pushed that dude around, sent Chet back to the weight room where he'll need to put on some muscle if he really wants to go up against AD the way that he's ultimately we expect he will be able to 2, 3, 4 years from now. But right now, he just don't have the type of strength to really be going up against AD. And we saw it tonight, but Chet did get some blocks. Chet did show why he's a fantastic player, made some fantastic passes too. I was kind of surprised with some of the playmaking that Chet displayed. Both he and Wemby really are great passers, so they're going to be deadly monsters over the next 15 years or so as their careers progress. But right now, while they're rookies, they're impressing now, but we're still able to press forward with Anthony Davis and match up with them pretty well. So I like how we handled Chet tonight. J-Dub was effective for the most part, but also had a bad shooting night for the most part as well. But I just really appreciate Isaiah Joe and Kendrick Williams. And, it was a lot of dudes out there that were shooting poorly. Their 30-year-old rookie, I think his name is Cilia or something. I don't know. He's a European dude, but he was shooting the ball well. I think he had like 3 threes out there. Definitely helped their percentages. If he wasn't shooting the way he was, it'd have been even worse, obviously. So, all in all, you just understand that the OKC Thunder are a team who's probably not going to shoot that poorly next time you see them in February. But for now, we'll definitely take the 2 wins where they ultimately did not play their best basketball against us. And, we won 1 in their house and won 1 here, man. We got to feel pretty good about that. So, when the Lakers win, I don't have a whole lot to say, man. I really don't. I'm one that does a whole lot more talking when there's much more to complain about. And while there was a lot to complain about in the first quarter, ultimately, the Thunder let us off the hook by just rendering themselves absolutely useless from behind the arc and just hoisting them over and over and in and just clanking them. Even though they rebounded a lot of their own misses, I mean, they didn't understand that they needed to try to drive toward AD because that was a better bet for them rather than continuing to launch like they did. But that's the beauty of having a player like Anthony in the paint. Teams don't want to. They won't even try. So we benefited from that tonight, man. And that's one of the reasons why I want to give AD the game ball there. So great win, LA, man. Thank you for bouncing back. We really needed a lot to be celebrating at this point since we've been complaining so much. I think some guys may have raised their trade value. I think some guys may have looked like maybe we shouldn't trade him, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we don't know how much longer a lot of these players are going to be on this team. So we definitely appreciate them looking as good as they did on this night. If this is indeed one of the last games, we'll see a guy like D'Lo and Rui. I thought they really played well in this uniform. And so that's how we will remember them if for some reason they are traded soon. But if not, if they can continue to play like this, we won't be upset about it, because that's really what it's all about. Them playing well and ultimately showing us why we won that in-season tournament in the first place, because guys were able to come together in a big situation and show up big. And while a lot of that stuff had to do with the Thunder shooting poorly, I think plenty of it had to do with us getting out in transition, hitting big shots, playing together, rooting for one another, and ultimately actually looking like a basketball team today. So that's really what it's about, man. We look like a squad, a unit, and it wasn't a whole lot of me-ball going on out there, guys picking each other up. It just looked like a much better body language game overall. And so to have won it, I think can take us even into a more positive space, and hopefully our team can find a way to keep it together, because the trade deadline ain't for another month. And we got a lot of home games here. We don't have to be on the road for a while. So hopefully this can be the turning point for our squad, and ultimately finding ourselves in a position to feel and look as good as we intend to when we go out there. So very pleased, man. Very, very happy Laker fan tonight. I know this isn't the bigger picture. We got a long way to go before we where we want to be. There were things that you could look at and say we need to do better at, like offensive rebounding, and ultimately how we want to use our challenges and timeouts. But, we took advantage of a poor shooting basketball team tonight. And, the fact that they're the number 1 overall seed coming in just gives us even more of a confidence boost to know that we can win games against teams like this. So, yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Great win, Lakers. Great win. I'm not too demonstrative tonight because I'm pretty tired, but I'm a lot more happy about this win than I'm able to show. I was entertained, and we walk away victorious, having protected home floor against one of the contenders in this league. And, I think we look pretty damn dominant tonight, if you ask me. And I think we could play better as well. So that's encouraging, man. Hopefully we can keep this rotation. I don't think we should change our starting lineup anymore. This should kind of be what it is for a little while. I know we kind of want to get away from D'Lo, Austin starting lineups, but I also thought, ready to rotations in general. But I thought that they looked pretty good tonight, so long as Vando and AD was on the floor with them. They looked pretty good. They did. As long as someone can make up their defensive deficiencies and hide them, they can play off one another. And if they're both clicking at the same time, look out. So this was good, man. I thought Rui was great on the weak side as well. I call it weak side Rui when he blocks shots. I thought he really showed a lot of that in the first half. I just want us to take the cuffs off of that guy, because I think he could be so much better if given more minutes. And he looked a little rusty in certain situations as well, too. So he needs to knock off that rust. And once we get Rui looking the way he's supposed to be looking, he's an entirely different dynamic, a whole nother 30-point scorer down there. So I just want us to give him the minutes that he's ultimately supposed to be getting here. And yeah, man, maybe see Christian Wood in more rotation minutes as well. He's a helpful piece, man, and he seems to be helping us. That 3-ball is pretty. When he has his feet set, he can hit a high arc. You always expect it to go in. So I'm a big fan of what Christian Wood's been doing for us, even through the struggles. I mean, I'm more of a fan of him now than I was when we were rumored to be receiving him. He's just been a better player than I thought he would be for us overall. And if we could just give him more minutes as well, I think we'd be better for that too. So, yeah, man, that's really where we're at. I thought the team looked good tonight, man. And hopefully this could be the start of something, because Lord knows we are tired of struggling and complaining and, feeling like it's hopeless and all of that, man. We just need a couple of good wins like this to make us feel great about this team again. So that's pretty much it, man. Congratulations to the LA Lakers beating the OKC Thunder. And that is pretty much what I have to say. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.